Hi, I am Mike of Near Enough Dice. This is the Kerbal Space Program. This is a modified steel snake craft. Um, Basically, it's just to get Arnica Kerman to the Mun. I have decided that I want to get another scientist on the Mun. I should probably take two, but basically what I want is another scientist to go on board the Mun Hopper and go hopping around biomes to get more science. But I want to keep my 3-star scientist, Bob. I want to keep him in the research lab, researching away. Really, Annika is like a 3-star. Sorry, 2-star. She's a 2-star scientist. So I should probably chuck her into the research lab as well, and just take a 0-star scientist, because I don't need a very good scientist to go around the Mun Hopper. I just need someone who can operate the experiments. Yeah, I actually don't have any. I'll have to hire a new one, which I could do. It's not really a problem. But then I'd have to completely redesign this so it would work with two people inside. I've also made some, because this is just a transfer thing, I've taken all the science off it, and I've actually also made it so that it can refuel when it gets there. So it's actually got the connector ports, so that I can refuel the thing. Because before, you land and the whole bottom section just stays there, and the top section, there's a return section that goes on. So I want to refuel the whole thing, so the whole thing can come back into orbit. Not so much for to recover it all, because I'll be junking most of it. Basically, the only thing that'll actually come back onto Kerbal is going to be the capsule at the very top. But mostly, so when it lifts off, it's not leaving this huge big thing behind, which is just going to add to the part count. Yeah. And I've suddenly realised I don't really have. It's still going to be sitting there, because I've literally just a second realised I'm going to be landing this thing here, and maybe eventually taking a scientist off, but that's going to be way off in the future. So I didn't really plan this thing. Actually, I could take the thing back. Anyway, I have also installed Mechjeb for no particularly good reason. Yeah, no reason at all. I'm not getting particularly enamored of of launches, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, launches have kind of gotten routine, to the extent that I'm not terribly interested in them anymore. So I've often thought about, I could write my own scripts to do this and da 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 da. But I mean, I've kind of been interested in Mechjeb, and I'm quite sure what kind of things it'll do. So yeah, I'm going to find out. I'm going to find out what happens. So we're going to see how Mechjeb does. I think if I hit engage autopilot, status, autopilot status awaiting liftoff. So I still have to hit space to start everything off, and then Mechjeb should take over. So let's see what happens.
What happened was that Mechjeb in fact did a perfectly smooth and lovely ascent. You can just have a guide, which is essentially, it makes a target that is in the right glide slope, and you then get the nice pink marker on the map. And I could see that it took a little while to get to that marker. I'd set the angle of attack to 5 degrees, so that was the most it would change from prograde, which would obviously take a little bit of time therefore to get to the correct marker. But it all worked fine. It auto-staged. I added some Separatrons to the booster stages, because otherwise they had a tendency to smack into the back of the craft, and I had to manually deploy the fairings. But other than that, got a really nice, lovely, smooth ascent with a nice, easy circularization.
So I can get rid of the scent guidance. I don't need that now. So now I want maneuver planner. Must select target for the interplanetary transfers. So let's go to there and let's grab set as targets. Use regular Hoffman transfer function to intercept another body orbiting Kerbal. Oh, I see. Got different options. Ah, right. So I choose here. Hoffman transfer to targets. Schedule the burn at the next transfer. So create node. Okay. Now, if we go, let's go focus the view. You can see that I'm going to smash into the moon at the minute. So what I might want to do is fine-tune closest approach to targets. Alright, so that's giving me a 200 kilometer maneuver. I'll just leave it there actually. Right, okay, let's have a right, let's get rid of precise note for a second. Right, I've always had trouble with I don't know. When's this node coming up? 11 minutes. I've got a while to think about this. I only have 624 meters per second in this stage. This node is 841. That's normally a problem, but I'm just going to leave it for once. So, execute next node. So I could probably tell it to stop now. It's probably just fine. But it's, you know, doing the final few meters a second. Okay. So now I should be able to execute next node. It'll move towards the maneuver node. And then warp, I should think. Anytime now. There we go. Nice. Alright, that seems to be that done. Now the next thing I want to do, circular. Can I just do circularize at the next periapsis? Create node. Oh no, that's not going to do it. Right, I think I can't do that because I'm not at the SOI. So I need to change that. Well, I need to warp to the I need to warp to the next SOI. Change onto the descending node, change periapsis, circularize, fine tune close to target. Target, done that. Resonant orbit returned from a mun. That's interesting. Transfer to another planet. But I'm not doing any of those, so what I want to do is... Let's look at Warp Helper. Warp 2. SOI transition. Let's have a lead time of 10 seconds. So I'm just playing with Mechjeb. You know, this is all stuff I can do manually, and in many ways it's a combination of things like you know, Kerbal Alarm Clock and Kerbal Engineer and various other things. What is it with utilities? Let's look at the utilities. Ah, that seems to be stuff to do with, oh, I can just have auto stage on all the time. Auto stage once. So many different things to play with. So, yeah. Waiting for the encounter. So time warp's coming down, so the encounter must be fairly close. Next thing I'm going to want to do, obviously, is start looking at landing guidance, but I might want to change my my orbit and all that kind of stuff. So that might be the next thing, because this is quite a big orbit at 200 meters per second, 200 kilometers around the Mun. I could have like specifically changed it earlier, and I probably should have done, because I really want something closer to 15 kilometers. Right, now we can decircularize at next periapsis. Look at that. Boomph. And then I can say execute next node. And it will do all that itself.
I'm going to skip over a bit here. I do the circularization. I also do 2 more maneuvers to bring my apparatus and periapsis down to 15 kilometers, which is a better landing altitude. And I use the landing guide to choose my landing site, which is obviously going to be right on top of the mining station.
Oh, great. So that's that done. So I've now got the altitude I want. Right, let's quick save. And let's get rid of some things. Here we go. Moving to low orbit plane, change burn point. Okay. So that should be it. Heading to where it needs to change the phase of its. I should have waited, because it's all in the dark here now. I do have landing lights, but still. Right, so it's taking the time warp down. All right, so now it's changing. Okay. So now it's changing plane. State is executing low orbit plane change of about. Well, it's counting down, obviously. So it's finishing that. Moving to low deorbit burn point, which I can only presume is going to be around about here. Executing low deorbit burn, eventually. Hope it gives itself enough time each time to actually... Alright, so that blue thing is, I think, where it's going to land, according to... I assume that's what it means. So it's obviously trying to move that blue cross, well, triple thing, cross thing, blue target onto the red target. Now I do have an issue, which is I still have my transfer stage. So it's currently wanting to land on that. And I probably should have ejected that before now. But I don't know what it, because the online manual actually doesn't have anything for the landing guidance, so I might have to check something else up. Alright, so the two are getting very close. What's the status? Warping to end of braking burn. Warping to start of braking burn. Yowza. Right, okay. Now this is where I should have waited because it's dark now. Alright, so not going to land on everything, which is what I was slightly worried about. Okay. Status, braking target speed is 2271 meters per second. Are you going to do anything at any point? Oh, here we go. Alright, so we're going to be a bit away off, but that's fine. Arnica is not happy. Okay, so look, it's a very small difference on the map there, but it's turning to be out to be a fair distance. It's going to be some distance away, looks like. Well, no, we're not going to die. Final descent. 423 above the train. Should I just drop this stage now? I probably should. Might end up landing on it now I think about it, so I may have made a number of stupid decisions. Final descent, 380 odd meters above the terrain. what? I don't even know. What? Let's look up surface info. This is coordinates. It's not giving me the slope, which is one of the things I was thinking of. I was wanting. My landing lights are beginning to light up the terrain. I'm actually beginning to hope this explodes when it hits the ground. Because I actually want that not to be there when I land. Because otherwise I'm coming down straight on top of it. Okay, so we're beginning to slow down. Excellent, that is now not going to be in the way. And I'm only about 700 meters away from my eventual target. Let's change the attitude so you can actually see what's happening. Landing legs are deployed, which is done automatically. Slope is actually a bit, but it doesn't matter. Well, you can see there's still a bit of light left to see. So lowering down at 0.5 meters a second. And then settling down because of the slope, which is not too bad, actually. And we have successfully arrived. And that was the rest of that. Yeah, I had a massively over-engineered thing here. Okay, let's get rid of... Why, I don't know why I got Warp Helper up. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. So I still have 1,867, which should be enough to get me back home. It's actually not worth me refueling because I turned out to have so much extra Delta V. It was stupid. I had to throw away about at least 1,000 Delta V because the way I've set this up. Well, there you go. Well, that's a good, interesting trial for Mechjeb. That seemed to work. Arnica Kerman, very happy to not be dead. So I can send Arnica over and get into the Munhopper, and she and Stelilia can then go around checking out other biomes. So there you go. As the sun is beginning to set, in fact, really actually has set, over the Mun, I'm going to say thanks very much for watching. Do hit like and subscribe if you're enjoying these videos. Come visit me at neonupdice.com. We're also on Facebook and Twitter. And until next time, reach for the stars, possibly with the help of an autopilot.